sauce. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to start today with the Boxcar Children #1. Okay, and as I told you the other day, the copyright, remember the book's birthday is in 1942. Look at this picture. Okay, it's in black and white, and because the book was written in black and white, because it was written in 1942, black and white pictures were the norm back then. So here we go. Chapter 1 is called The 4 Hungry Children. All right. One warm night, 4 children stood in front of a bakery. No one knew them. No one knew where they'd come from. The baker's wife saw them first. And as they stood looking in the window of her store, the little boy was looking at cakes. The big boy was looking at the loaves of bread. And the 2 girls were looking at the cookies. Now, the baker's wife did not like children. She did not like boys at all. So she came to the front of the bakery and listened, looking very cross. Can you guys show me a cross face? Show me a mean face. Good, that's very good. All right. The cake is good, Jesse, the little boy said. He was about 5. Yes, Benny, said the big girl, but bread's better for you, isn't it, Henry? Yes, said Henry, we must have some bread. And cake is not good for Benny and Violet. I like bread best anyway, said Violet. She was about 10, and she had pretty brown hair and brown eyes. That is just like you, Violet, said Henry, smiling at her. Let's go into the bakery. Maybe they will let us stay here for the night. The baker's wife looked at them as they came in. I want 3 loaves of bread, please, said Jessie. She smiled politely at the woman, but the woman did not smile. She looked at Henry as he put his hand in his pocket for the money. She looked cross, but she sold him the bread. Jessie was looking around too, and she saw a long red bench under each window of the bakery. The benches had flat red pillows on them. Will you let us stay here for the night? Jessie asked. We could sleep on those benches, and tomorrow we'll help you with dishes and wash and do things for you. Now the woman liked this. She did not like to wash dishes very well. She would like to have a big boy help her with the work. Where are your father and mother? She asked. They are dead, said Henry. We have a grandfather in Greenfield, but we don't like him, said Benny. Jessie put her hand over the little boy's mouth before he could say anything more. Benny, keep still, she said. Why don't you like your grandfather? Asked the woman. He's our father's father, and he didn't like our mother, said Henry. So we don't think he would like us. We are afraid he would be mean to us. Did you ever see him? Asked the woman. No, answered Henry. Then why do you think he would be mean to you? Well, he never came to see us, said Henry. He doesn't like us at all. Where did you live before you came here? Asked the woman, but none of the children would tell her. We get along okay, said Jessie. We want to stay here only for one night. You may stay here tonight, said the woman at last, and tomorrow we'll see what we can do. Henry thanked her politely. We're all pretty tired and hungry, he said. The children sat down on the floor, and Henry cut into one of the loaves of bread into 4 pieces with his knife, and the children began to eat. Delicious, said Henry. Well, I never, said the woman. She went to the next room and shut the door. I'm glad she's gone, remarked Benny, eating. She doesn't like us. Shh, Benny, said Jessie. She's good to let us sleep here. After supper, the children lay down on their red benches, and Violet and Benny soon went to sleep. Here's a picture of Benny. Can you see him sleeping on there with his hat on the floor? Yeah, I see some nodding. Great. Yep, there he is. But Jessie and Henry could hear the woman talking to the baker. She said, I'll keep the 3 older children. They can help me. But that little boy must go to the children's home. He's too little. I can't take care of him. The baker answered, very well. Tomorrow I'll take the little boy to the children's home. We'll keep the others for a while, but we must make them tell us who their grandfather is. You know, the children's home is like Annie. You know, the sun will come out tomorrow. know what I'm talking about? And that's where they're going to take Benny. Okay? Jesse and Henry waited until the baker and his wife had gone to bed. Then they sat up in the dark. "Oh, Henry," whispered Jesse, "let's run away." "Indeed," said Henry, "we'll never, never let Benny go to a children's home. Never, never. We must be far away by morning, or they will find us. But we must not leave any of the things." Jesse sat still thinking. "Our clothes and a cake of soap and towels are in the big laundry bag. Violet has her little work bag, and we have 2 loaves of bread. Have you your knife and the money?" "Yes," said Henry. "I have almost $4. "You must carry Benny," said Jesse. "He will cry if we wake him up. But I'll wake Violet." "Shh, Violet, come. We're going to run away. If we don't, the baker's going to take Benny to the children's home." In the morning, the little girl woke up at once. She sat up and rolled off the bench. She did not make any noise. "What shall I do?" she whispered softly. "Carry this," said Jesse, and she gave her the work bag. Jesse put the 2 loaves of bread into the laundry bag, and she looked around the room. "All right," she said, "take Benny now." Henry took Benny in his arms and carried him to the back door of the bakery. To the door of the bakery. Jesse took the laundry bag and opened the door very softly. All the children went out quietly. They did not say a word. Jesse shut the door, and they all listened. Everything was very quiet, so the 4 children went down the street. Chapter 2, night is turned into day. And if you look in the back, okay, there's the 2 girls behind, and Benny is being carried. You can see Henry, the oldest boy, he's carrying Benny. Okay, all right, I see some nodding. Great. You ready for chapter 2? Give me a thumbs up. Ready? Awesome, here we go. Great job. Soon the children left the town and came to a road. The big yellow moon was out, and they could see the road very well. "We must walk fast," said Henry. "I hope the baker and his wife don't wake up and find us gone." They walked down the road as fast as they could. "How far can you carry Benny?" asked Violet. "Oh, I can carry him a long way," replied Henry. But Jesse said, "I think we could go faster if we wake him up now. We could take his hands and help him." So Henry stopped and put Benny down. "Come on, Benny," he said. "You must wake up." "Go away," said Benny. "Let me try," said Violet. "Benny, you can pretend you're a little brown bear, and you're running away to find a nice warm bed. Henry and Jesse will help you, and you will find a bed." Benny liked this idea of being a little brown bear, and so he woke up and opened his eyes. Henry and Jesse took his hands, and they all went on again. They passed some farmhouses, but the houses were dark and quiet. The children did not see anyone. They walked and walked for a long time. Then the red sun began to come up. "We need to find a place to sleep," said Jesse. "I'm so tired." Little Benny was asleep, and Henry was carrying him again. The older children began to look for a place. At last, Violet said, "Look over there," and she was pointing to a big haystack in the field near the farmhouse. "A fine place, Violet," said Henry. "See what a big haystack it is?" They ran across the field toward the farmhouse. They jumped over a brook, which is a stream, and then they came to the haystack. Henry was still carrying Benny. Jesse began to make a nest in the haystack for Benny, and when they put him into it, he went to sleep at once. The other children also made nests to sleep in. "Good night," said Henry, laughing. "It's good morning, I should think," replied Jesse. "We sleep in the day and we walk all night. When it's night again, we'll wake up and walk some more." The children were so tired they went right to sleep. They slept all day, and it was night again when they woke up. Benny said at once, "Oh, Jesse, I'm hungry. I want something to eat." "Good old Benny," said Henry. "We'll have supper." Jesse took out a loaf of bread and cut it into 4 pieces. It was soon gone. "I want some water," begged Benny. Now," said Henry, "you may have some water when it gets dark. But there's a pump near the farmhouse. If we leave the haystack now, someone will see us." When it was dark, the children came out of the haystack and went quietly toward the farmhouse, which was dark and still. Nearby was a pump, and Henry pumped water as quietly as he could. He didn't even wake up the hens or the chickens. I want a cup, said Benny. Oh, no, Benny, whispered Henry. You'll have to put your mouth right in the water. You can pretend you're a horse. This pleased Benny. Henry pumped and pumped, and at last Benny had all the water he wanted. The water was cold and sweet, and all the children drank. Then they ran across the field toward the road. If we hear anyone, said Jessie, we must hide behind the bushes. Just as they said this, the children heard a horse and a cart coming. Benny, keep very still, whispered Henry. Don't say a word. Here's a picture of a horse and a cart. You guys know who that might be? Huh? Yeah. The children got behind the bushes as fast as they could. They didn't have much time. The horse came near and near, and they began to walk up toward them. The children could hear a man talking. It was the baker. I wonder where those children went, he said. I don't think they could walk as far as Silver City. If we don't find them in Greenfield, we'll go home. Yes, answered the wife. I don't want to find them anyway. I don't like children, but we must try a little longer. We will look for them in Greenfield, and that's all. The children watched till the horse and cart had gone down the road. Then they came out from behind the bushes and looked at each other. My, I'm glad those people did not see us, said Henry. You're a good boy, Benny, to keep so still. We'll not go to Greenfield. I wonder how far it is to Silver City, asked Jessie. The children were very happy as they walked along the road. They knew the baker would not find them. They walked until 2 o'clock in the morning. And then they came to some signs by the side of the road. The moon came out from behind the clouds, and Henry could read the signs. One says Greenfield this way. The other one says Silver City. Well, we're not going to Greenfield. Let's take the other road to Silver City. They walked for a long time. They didn't see anyone. Not many people come this way, I guess, said Henry, but that is all the better. Listen, said Benny. I hear something. Listen, said Violet. The children stood and listened, and they could hear water running. I want a drink of water, Henry, said Benny. Well, let's go, said Henry. I see where the water is. I'd like a drink, too. Soon the children saw a drinking fountain by the side of the road. Whoa, what a fine fountain this is, said Henry, running towards it. See the place for people to drink up high and a place in the middle for horses and one for dogs down below? All the children drank some cold water. I want to go to bed, said Benny. Jessie laughed. You can go to bed very soon. Henry was looking down the little side road that had grass growing in the middle of it. Come on, he cried. This road goes into the woods. We can sleep in the woods. This is a good place, said Jessie as they walked. It's far away from people. You can tell because there's grass growing in the road. And it will be near the drinking fountain, said Violet. Right, cried Henry. You think of everything. Boy, it's almost morning, remarked Jessie. It's hot. I'm glad it's hot, said Henry, for we must sleep on the ground. Let's find some pine needles for beds. The children went into the woods and soon made 4 beds of pine needles. I hope it's not going to rain, said Jessie as she lay down. Then she looked up at the sky. It looks like rain, for the moon has gone behind the clouds. She shut her eyes and did not open them again for a long time. More clouds rolled across the sky and the wind began to blow. There was lightning and thunder, but the children did not hear it. They were all fast asleep. Chapter 3, A New Home in the Woods. And that's tomorrow.
We're going to unmute you so you can ask Mr. H some questions, but everybody be very quiet and only one question at a time.
Well, I also want to tell you, for those of you that heard this story before, you know, but did you hear how they wanted to sleep in the bakery? I was at Walmart, and when they were closing, all the workers went to the back room. Is that where they sleep?
Yes.
Huh? Do all the workers at Walmart go to the back room? No.
Yes.
In the old days, Okay. In the
Yeah.
old days, in a store,
Listen to Mr. H.
the people that own the store would either go upstairs
No,
and they
he's
live
done.
upstairs, or they live in the back room. And that's why the baker went into the back and shut the door. They
Listen.
lived right there. So what do you think? You can ask your mom and dad later, hey, would you like it if you said, bye, honey, I'm going to work, and they walked out the door and they were at work. All I had to do was walk through the door.
It's kind of like that right now.
Yeah, almost like that, isn't it? Uh-huh. Did you guys have any questions?
Raise your hand and I'll try to unmute you if you have questions. Okay, go ahead, Remington
No.
and sister. Go ahead.
I don't have any questions.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions? All right.
Okay, do you like, those of you that heard the story, it's fun to hear it again, but if you haven't heard the story, what, give me a thumbs up. Do you like it so far? Okay, good. We just started. So tomorrow, chapter 3, A New Home in the Woods. So Mr. Hasted is going to sign off, and his lovely assistant. We're going to sign off now. I will see you tomorrow. And as always, God bless you all. We'll see you tomorrow, okay?
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.